Hey guys, how's it going? Professor Shuckle here, your coach of the Dark Cave Dark Rise. Today I'll be going over our week 2 battle for APA Ascension. Our opponent for this week are the Austin Aces, coached by Lunatic. After an unfortunate loss week 1, we're looking to bounce back and get our season started off with a win. So without much further ado, let's jump into the matchup real quick. As you can see, the opponent has a roster of Zeraora, Rybombi, Miss Magius, Drapion, Gligar, Dracovish, Mega Heracross, Alolan Sandslash, Heatmore, Abomasnow, and Gigalith. So Zeraora is a huge threat. It's the fastest Pokemon on both sides outside of respective weather. A physical Zeraora set is actually pretty scary for my team with like close combat for the Tyranitar and EXCADRILL, Knockoff, and Plasma Fist, which covers the team pretty well. Rybombi can also be a threat with like webs as well as Quiver Dance or Specs set. Drapion is kind of annoying for my team as well, as I don't really have a really good knockoff switch. Most of my Pokemon hate taking a knockoff, so that's always annoying. Gligar is a pretty reliable Excadrill check, especially if its EV light is up, thanks to its good physical bulk. Dracovish is a huge threat as usual. I don't have a water immunity on my team, so Vicious Rent is really free. I could see a Sandrush Dracovish coming, which is a little bit easier to deal with in my opinion, just because the Strong Jaw boost makes Vicious Rent hit incredibly hard. Mega Heracross is also scary. I don't really have a switch-in on my team other than defensive Florges. So yeah. Alolan Sandslash can be scary as well, especially if it's like an Icy Rock Abomasnow with 8 turns of like Hail. Definitely scary. Gigalith is a nice Pidget check, so I expect it to come just for that. It also sets up Sand for Dracovish. So yeah, I would say our opponent has a pretty interesting roster with rocking the dual weather. But I do have some interesting tech, so let's jump into our team builder. So the first thing I decided when I started to build my team was I wanted a pretty reliable Zeraora check, which is really annoying for my team. So I started building with Roselia, which is rocking the Eviolite. I ran Poison Point over Natural Cure just because a physical Zeraora was scary for my team, and this gave me like a 30% chance every time he went for a physical move to get a poison off, which could be really clutch in chipping it down. So yeah, it's physically bulky to take on physical Zeraora pretty well. It takes on special Zeraora pretty well as it's naturally especially defensive, so that works out well. Like it checks both versions of Zeraora. A knockoff into Blaze Cake doesn't kill unless the Blaze Cake crits, I believe. So I'm running Lead Seed, Spikes, Sludge Bomb, and Giga Drain. Sludge Bomb and Giga Drain I just stab and cover his team pretty well. Lead Seed is just for the Drapion that might switch in, gives me like health back and allows me to pivot into something else safely as I keep getting health. Spikes is just to get like nice 12% chip on anything that wants to switch in, so which is really nice. Next up we have Latios, which is rocking the Choice Scarf. This is going to be our main win con, I believe. Our game plan is going to be chipping things down in range of Scarf Latios to clean. I don't expect these Zeraora to be Scarfs, so Latios is pretty good with as a win con, is really good in revenging. I'm running Draco Meteor, Aura Sphere, Psychic, and Dragon Pulse. Their only fairy is Rybombi, which doesn't really want to switch into Latios. Like that would be a pretty aggressive and bold move to go hard Rybombi on a Latios. So I thought Draco Meteor was pretty free again, as I expect the main switch in to be Drapion, so a Draco Meteor chunks that heavily. I have Aura Sphere for the Gigalith if that's especially a defensive set trying to come in. Psychic is just nice for the Zeraora, Rybombi, and like Dracovish. Dragon Pulse was just in case I didn't want to get the drops from Draco Meteor, so it was a more reliable, accurate stab. I'm running enough speed to outspeed Drapion by 1 point. Modest to have as much damage as like maximum damage. Next up, we have Wishy-Washy with the Rocky Helmet and max physical bulk. This is our main check for Draco-Wish, as well as Alolan Sandslash. With Rocky Helmet, we are getting 16% chip every time they go for a physical move that makes contact. I'm running Restock so that Wishy-Washy remains healthy, and it'll always go back to its cooling form. Scald is just really nice stab. It does a lot of damage to everything, and the things that want to switch in don't really like the chance of Scald Burn, which is really nice. And then U-turn is just to get out of like bad matchups into something with a better matchup. So for example, if he goes Zero Aura on Wishy-Washy, a U-turn out on it would be really clean. Yeah. Next up, we have EXCADRILL with a Choppleberry and Sandrush. So the Choppleberry is for Zero Aura close combat, and we can kill it back with Earthquake. I'm running Sword Stance, Magnet Rise, Iron Head, and Earthquake. So, as I said earlier, Gligar is a really good check to EXCADRILL, as I cannot really 2-hit KO it with Iron Head or any other move. But Gligar really cannot touch me back if I Magnet Rise. So Magnet Rise makes me immune to Earthquake, and then Gligar cannot touch me and I can Sword Stance on it freely. Now, this really puts pressure on Heracross or something else to come and take a move, which is really nice. It may even bring out the Zero Aura to like stop me from setting up 2 Sword Stances, and that's when my Choppleberry comes to useful, and I can just kill Zero Aura and get rid of a huge threat. So yeah, this is like the heat set of the week, which is really nice. Next up, we have Florges. This is also physically defensive with leftovers. I'm running Moonblast, Wish Protect, and Defog. Wish Tech is again because of the dual weather, which hampers synthesis recovery. Moonblast is just decent stab. The only resist is Heatmor, which I don't really expect to come. Defog just in case they get up webs and like spikes. Yeah, Wish Protect is also nice for our Wishy-Washy, which is really good. Last up, we have Mienshao, rocking the Assault Vest. The moveset is Acrobatics, Drain Punch, U-turn, and Knockoff. U-turn is just for momentum. Knockoff is to get rid of the Gligar's Eviolite, because I expect that to be the switch. Drain Punch is just for recovery on like Gigalith and Sandslash, and even Abomasnow. Like this can switch into special Abomasnow pretty well. I'm running enough speed for Drapion as well. This is also our Drapion switch, if that makes sense, because we don't have a knockoff switch, so I thought Mienshao could help with that. We get knocked off, and then our Acrobatics powers up from 55 to 110 and guarantee kills even like max HP Mega Heracross. And then Acrobatics becomes one of our strongest moves to like spam, and it's like pretty good at picking up KOs versus things like Mismatches, Ribombee, Mega Heracross, which is really nice. Regenerator allows us to keep U-turning in and out for momentum as well as staying healthy, which is really nice. So yeah, that's our team, and now let's head into the battle and see how that went. So, as you can see, they decided to bring Ribombee, Gligar, Mega Heracross, Draco-Wish, Gigalith, and Drapion. So they left out Zero Aura, which was like a huge threat for my team, and I was happy to see it not come. So, based on how this team looked, I thought the leads were either going to be Ribombee or Gigalith. As such, I thought my best lead was probably just Mienshao. If I see Ribombee, I would just assume it's it's Sash, and just like I have a good switch into Roselia and EXCADRILL for it. On a Gigalith lead, I could always just click a knockoff pretty freely, as I doubt they would give me their Gigalith turn 1, and so I could get rid of the Gligar's Eviolite pretty well. If they lead Drapion as well, I can just stay in and knock off, and if they lead Draco-Wish, I can always go and scout in Wishy-Washy, which is pretty nice. So yeah, I decided to lead off with Mienshao, as they do lead off with the Ribombee. Now this could be Sash, but it could also be Specs, and a Specs Moonblast does kill my Mienshao. Or like a boosting item would kill my Mienshao even though I have the Assault Vest. So I decide to hard switch here and go into my Roselia, as he scouts for Scarf Mienshao and goes into his Gligar, which is a fair play. But that reveals to me that Ribombi might not be Sash, which is good to know. Here I try to go for a Spike, but he reveals Taunt, which is like good brain. But I don't think this thing can do much to me, so I just click Giga Drain as he goes for Toxic, so staying in covered that. And as long as I have my Eviolite, I can actually check this fine. If he wants to knock off, it was fine because Zeraora was not here, so I didn't really need this as much. This was here just now to like get up spikes or lead seed and like check the Ribombi maybe, but it wasn't doing much in this game. So I just Giga Drain again and like keep chipping this thing down. Now here, as my taunt wears off, I expect him to go for a taunt and not like a knockoff or earthquake. So I decide to go into my Wishy-Washy. I'm a Wishy-Washy. I didn't want to get knocked because I wanted the Rocky Helmet chip for Draco Wish. So here I go out into my Wishy-Washy as he goes for taunt, I believe. Yeah. Now here, this is a free Skull. He doesn't really have a good switch in for it. Like nothing on this team wants to take a Skull, so I just go for a Skull. It does 34, so this reveals to me that this Drapion is bulky and has Black Sludge, which is good to know. So it's probably meant to be like a Latios check, but he just gave me a chip on it, which is nice. As I said, I don't want my Rocky Helmet to get knocked off, and he's probably gonna go for a knockoff, so I just go into my Mienshao. And he does go for knockoff, which is fine. The damage tells me that he's also invested in attack, which is good to know. I go for my own knockoff, thinking he may not want to stay in to take like a close combat or a high jump kick, and like Gligar was a safe play. But I guess because Gligar hadn't roosted, he didn't want to risk it, so that was fine in case I was SD, I guess. So I knock as he goes for Poison Jab and gets the poison. The poison is unfortunate for sure because it limits the aggressive switches and doubles I can pull with this, as I keep getting chipped due to poison. But I don't think it's the end of the world, as Regenerator always means I get back health and like can kind of shrug off the poison damage. So here I just click U-turn to get Regenerator, and as because I don't expect him and here I expect him to go for knock because it's kind of free, as it would kill the Mienshao. So I just go into my Roselia because, as I said, I don't really need it. But he actually goes for Earthquake, probably expecting EXCADRILL, so which is fine as I chew that. He goes for knockoff here, getting rid of my Eviolite, but I go for Lead Seed and miss. Now that miss is kind of unfortunate because that would give me health back and allow me to switch into Mienshao a little easier. But yeah, not the end of the world because I was like, Roselia wasn't that important in this game anyway. I go Wishy-Washy here as he goes for Poison Jab. I didn't think he would knock off again because he probably wanted to kill the Roselia, which was annoying for his team with Lead Seed and Spikes. So he goes for Poison Jab, gets another poison. Now this one doesn't really matter because I'm Restock, but like a little unfortunate because I can't safely switch into Draco Wish now because I might die. So yeah, but not the end of the world because I Restock. Yeah. There he switches out because he doesn't want to let Drapion die because that would free up Lati clicking Psychic. So he preserves his Drapion and goes into Gigalith as I pull a double into Mienshao because I don't think he would have clicked Poison Jab again on the Wishy-Washy because he was taking more damage than he was doing to me. So he would like either he would want to get rid of the Rocky Helmet and click knock, or he would switch. So he goes Gigalith as I double into Mienshao, which is good for me because I can Drain Punch here. Yeah, so I actually click U-turn here expecting the Gligar to come in, because the Drain Punch could have been, or a high jump kick could have been a play. So I thought the Gligar was pretty free to come in, or like if anything else came, I got the U-turn momentum. I didn't expect the Gigalith to stay in, as that was his like sand setup for Draco Wish. Even if Gigalith stayed in, I could have gone Wishy-Washy and then just gotten off a free rest the next turn, so it's not the end of the world. So here I U-turn and I actually go into EXCADRILL as he sets the sand. This was to basically force him to not roost, because now this is a threat and I could click Sword Stance pretty freely versus this. But so I'm thinking he would try to click Earthquake because EXCADRILL is a threat. I go for the Magnerize, but he actually makes a really good play and goes for Roost, and now he can check my EXCADRILL because I cannot 2-hit KO it even if I Sword Stance once. But now since he can touch me and he's revealed to me his whole set, he can't touch this EXCADRILL. So I click Sword Stance here pretty freely, but he goes for Taunt, which is fair. But now I can just go for Iron Head, and it does 48. But just outside of a 2-hit KO range. Unfortunately, I flinch him there, which is really like lucky for me, I guess. I think his best, he was trying to restall our Magnerize, so that like he could till Magnerize were off and then he could Earthquake. But yeah, so that was really unfortunate for him. I'm not sure how much it mattered. I also get a flinch on the second Iron Head, which was kind of unfortunate for him and like really lucky for me. But all he could do was Roostall, and then when my Magnerize wore off, I was faster than this thing, so I could Magnerize up again. So he would have to play his taunt really well, and even if he taunted me, I could always switch into like Wishy-Washy or Flourishes, as I know he doesn't have knock anymore. So yeah. So I just kill that thing and he sacks it off, because at that point it was not checking anything, which is kind of unfortunate for him. And I'm looking in a pretty good shape because I'm +2 and I'm Magnerized, so he can't Earthquake me with Drapion. So he goes into Heracross. Now I don't actually kill this at +2 with Iron Head, and because I've shown 3 of my moves, it's unlikely my last move is going to be Aerial Ace when I need Earthquake. So he can go into this pretty safely. Even though I have a Chople, I don't really want it to break right now when I have a pretty free Florges. So I just switch out into my Florges as he Mega Evolves and clicks Close Combat. That damage shows he's max attack Adamant, which is good to know. He's probably like invested in bulk as well to take on EXCADRILL a little better. But here I can click off a Wish pretty freely, and he goes into Gigalith. Maybe he thought I would click Synthesis and he could hamper my recovery, but yeah. Here I just click Moonblast because this cannot kill me in one hit, and I expected to go for rocks, but he shows Iron Defense, which is pretty interesting. So when he showed me Iron Defense, I thought this was going to be like an Iron Defense Body Press Rest Talk set, but I thought Wishy-Washy kind of walled out, so I was fine with it. And if Sand ran out, then my Laddie could also kill it with Aura Sphere, so I wasn't too worried about this set. And I just was happy to get back to full so that my Florges could keep checking Mega Heracross. So I throw up another Wish, hoping to bring back Wishy-Washy, but he gets 5 hits on his Rock Blast. So he chose Rock Blast, which is interesting, so he's probably not Rest. Or he's just Rest in like Body Press, Iron Defense, and doesn't have Sleep Talk, which could be another thing. But because of the 5 hits, I decide to Protect and stay in. And he calls out my Protect and gets up his rocks, which is a pretty good play by him. But that again shows that he probably doesn't have Rest now, which was cool to know. He switches into Draco Wish here as I just defog pretty safely. And here I can't really go Wishy-Washy because if he's banded and goes for Vicious Rend, he would kill my Wishy-Washy, especially if he's Strong Jaw. So first I scout to see what he goes for, if he's like a subset or just like Scarf. So he clicks Vicious Rend, which should be a kill because of double 170 power. So here I just decided to sack off my Roselia, which was useless this game anyways, and like there was a 30% chance I get off a poison with Poison Point. So I just do that and decide to sack it off. Now I can safely go into my wishy-washy and click rest here. He decides to stay and click Vicious Rend, maybe thinking he could kill me, but I'm like max physical defense, so I was always living that even if he was banded, and I could just click rest and get off the Rocky Helmet chip on Draco Wish. I click rest, and here my sleep talk was pretty free. I sleep talk and Pulse Called, which is nice. Don't get the burn, but that's good chip on Heracross. And I think now a +2 Iron Head from EXCADRILL would kill, which is always good to know. I go back into my Florges, my dedicated Mega Heracross answer, as he clicks Rock Blast this time, which was a good play. And he does about 50%. So I just, again, click my Wish again as he switches out. I'm guessing he didn't speed creep like a 0-speed Florges, so he's like kept switching, so I just got off my free Wish. I actually clicked Protect just so I'd be outside of range of Rock Blast. So yeah, I click Protect again just to see what Drapion is and keep getting leftovers back. He goes for Poison Jab, which is fair. And this turn, I can go into Mienshao again, as he does click Knock, which doesn't do damage. Here, I almost clicked Acrobatics because it would kill Drapion and it would also cover like an aggressive switch to Ribomb B should he make that play. Thinking I would go for like a fighting type move since Gligar was gone. But in the end, because of the poison, I decided that if he sacks Drapion, getting the health on Mienshao was nice. So I just click Drain Punch here as he makes a really bold play and goes hard Ribombi on my Drapion. And like I almost clicked Acrobatics there, so this thing would have been gone if I did click it, but I just made a defensive play and he made a really good aggressive play and got me there, which is fair for him. But I have a full HP EXCADRILL here, and since there's no hidden power, he cannot really touch me. And even if he gets up webs, I can always defog them with Florges, so I wasn't too worried. As I go EXCADRILL, and he clicks Moonblast, and that does a lot of damage. Like, that's not an insignificant amount, so I was like, oh, this is specs for sure. So I was not gonna Sword Stance again, and I was just like, yeah, I need to kill this thing, and I'm not gonna predict, I'm just gonna click Iron Head. He clicks Moonblast again, which is fair. He could have thought maybe I might go for an aggressive SD, thinking he would switch out, but I was not taking any chances with this, and I decided to kill it. He goes Heracross now. Since my EXCADRILL is like low, and it's lower than Drapion, and if Draco Wish is Scarf Sand Rush, I'll be slower than that too, so I didn't decide not to risk it and just click Iron Head. I get a crit, which is unfortunate, but I don't think it mattered too much because this was always going to die to Laddie or any other Pokemon on my team left, so I don't think it mattered too much. He goes for Pin Missile and kills me, which is fair. I got Latios here, and I think I just clicked Dragon Pulse, which was like free, but it does 35% to Gigalith, showing that there's not max special defense. He also reveals a Citrus Berry, which was kind of unfortunate because I thought I'd be able to 2-hit KO it, but when he revealed that Citrus, not anymore, so I had to switch out, which is fine. I just clicked Dragon Pulse again, like because I know he doesn't have attack investment to kill me, like he's not banded, so he can't kill me. And I thought if the first Dragon Pulse was a min roll or a low roll, maybe I could 2-hit KO it still, and then get rid of his sand and speed for the rest of the game. He goes for Rock Blast and only gets 2 hits, which is kind of unfortunate again. But because of the low roll, I don't know if my next Dragon Pulse will kill, so I just switch out into Mienshao. As he goes for Rock Blast again in crits, but somehow we live on 3%, which is like cool. I click U-turn here just to get regen off as he goes Drapion, hoping to sack it. Here I go Latios just so I can, if he like switches into anything sack, I go into Latios and like can force out, like I'm trying to force out Draco Wish and make it take more Rocky Helmet chip, or even to figure out if it's Sand Rush or not yet, because it hasn't come out in Sand and hasn't taken damage, so I don't know if it's Sand Rush. I go Latios and just click R-Sphere so that the Gigalith cannot come in and he's forced to go Draco Wish, which is what he does outside of Sand, which is cool. Here I go Wishy-Washy again, as I'm at full health, so I don't really need to fear from this. He goes for Crunch, which does pitiful damage, and does reveal that he's just Sandrush. So I just need to kill the Gigalith, and then I can win with the Scarflaty. So that was my endgame. Here I can just click Sleep Talk again, as he goes Gigalith and sets up its sand. But expecting his Gigalith to come in, I pulled a double into Mienshao because I want to get rid of this and stop it from setting sand again. So yeah, here I just click Drain Punch, trying to kill this because it would do like good damage to Draco Wish. Kills this, kills the Heracross, and that's what I decide to do. Here's gonna go Draco Wish and click Vicious Rend. I go Wishy-Washy to get more chip on this thing. He goes for Vicious Rend, does 37, but with Sand Chip, he is likely to kill me, and he does. But he's in range of, like, he's gonna die to Lati, and Heracross dies to Lati, so that is GG. I just go Florges and click Protect, because I know his Gigalith was not Smooth Rock, so this is the last turn of Sand, so he loses Sand Rush. He kills Florges, no big deal. I go Lati, and Dragon Pulse cleans up the game. And yeah, that's our week 2 battle. Pretty fun. Little unfortunate with the double flinch on Gligar and like the poison on Mienshao, but still a pretty fun game, and I think we played around Sand Draco Wish really well. So yeah, we're now 1-1 with a differential of -2, which is nice. So we have our first win of the season, and hopefully we can use this momentum to win again next week. Till then, see you and have a good week.